Hey everybody, welcome back to Wendy's Way. I just wanted to make a quick video, kind of an introduce you to the fam. I decided maybe this should be as much a vlog as it should be just a YouTube channel about faith, food, and fiber. So if you want to get to know me, you need to get to know my family. And I think I'm going to start with the fur fam. This is number one of the fur fam. His name is Frodo. And he's looking a little camera shy, but don't let him fool you. He's a playboy from the word go. Hey, Frodo, I want to get your face out there, buddy. Frodo is some sort of wire-haired terrier mix. We rescued him from the San Angelo, Texas animal shelter when he was about 1.5 years old. Right now, by the looks of him when we adopted him, we're assuming he's about 11. He's been with us for a good long time. He is the only male in our fur fam. So he's been hanging out with his harem for a good long time. Hi, Frodo. He needs his spring grooming pretty bad. I shave him about once a year. And then he really looks like a spaniel almost because of the ticking from head to toe. He likes to sleep in the dark, so he'll either cover his eyes with his paws or shove it into the corner of the sofa like you can see there. You will see a lot more of Frodo as the year progresses because once we get out into the big yard and start gardening and stuff, he just loves to play fetch with tennis balls out there. But that is our one and only fur boy, Frodo Baggins. He's a hobbit of the Shire. Chicky heard me talking about Frodo. She jumped in front of me, and now she's going to look the other way because Daddy just jumped in the shower, and she can hear it. I'm going to slide over here and see if I can get her to look at the camera. This is Chicky baby. She's obviously a Chihuahua. She also is about 11 years old, approximately. Also rescued from the San Angelo, Texas animal shelter. Come here, Chickapee. Let me talk about you, honey. When she was turned into the animal shelter, she had 2 puppies with her, and the puppies were adopted right away. But nobody seemed to want Chicky. And Bubba is a Wawa fan from way back. So we fostered Chicky for a while. And then one day when Bubba woke up from his nap in the afternoon, he discovered Chicky curled up in his arms. And he called me and said, okay, it's over. I can't do it anymore. I have to claim her as my own. Chicky vies for alpha. She doesn't want to admit that I am alpha. She thinks that she is. She and Frodo, they are the male and female leaders of the pack. And every single day since we've had them, at least for the last 5 to 8 years, they have been loving on each other at least once a day. You can see, come here, Chickapoo. Chicky's eyes, they get wet and they get itchy because she has allergies. And so every day she'll go to Frodo and say, honey, it's time to clean my eyes. And he will do it for her. I'll get it filmed one day and show it to you. It's really adorable. Chicky also has a control issue. She doesn't like to be controlled. She's just like her mother in that way. And when you're holding her or giving her attention and you try to put her down, she'll growl at you. If you control her head when you're petting her, she'll growl at you. And you'd like to say that, oh, my dog doesn't bite, she just growls a lot. Well, Chicky bites every now and then. She's a big fan of men, more so than women. So I'm just going to let her run over there and get on Bubba's chair. And I'll tell you about Annie. Annie, who has an itchy head right now. You saw Annie in the new trailer video. Come here, Annie. Stay here and let Mommy talk about you, okay? Annie is also a Chihuahua. She also came from Texas, but a friend of ours rescued her running the streets of Ballinger. She was so skinny. I mean, she's a tiny dog now. She barely weighs 4 pounds. But when they found her running the streets, her toenails were so long that they were curled round in circles, just about to bury themselves back into her paw pads. She was a tiny, tiny girl. She probably weighed 2 pounds when we rescued her. So, amazingly enough, this is fattened up for Annie. And, you know, she came home with us. We had no intention of ever adopting her out. Our friends told us that they found her and what shape she was in. And Bubba said, mine, it's a little Wawa. It must be mine. And Annie came home and she decided, no, I'm going to be a mama's dog. Daddy might want me, but Mama will get all my love. Well, maybe not all. Anyway, we assume that Annie's about 10 years old, you know, by what she looked like when we rescued her. And every now and then, Annie will throw a seizure, but it's been a good long time since she has. And Annie has bad knees, partly because she's just a tiny dog, and it happens a lot to tiny dogs. Luxating patellas, they call it, where their kneecap slides in and out. And she is just an affection hound, aren't you, Annie McBoo? And I tell you, she might look like a little purse dog, but you get her out there in that big yard and she will pin her ears back and she will run and she will run. Her tongue hangs out 100% of the time now because she's lost so many teeth. Every time we take her in for a dental treatment at the vet's office, she loses more teeth. She still has a few in there, but not enough to hold her tongue in very much. And her tongue has gotten crooked. Even when she licks, you know, it comes out the side of her mouth. It's really kind of hilarious. Anyway, Annie believes that she's a Doberman, and you'll get to see that when she's out in the yard. That's 3 out of 4. Let's go find Pumpkin. If ever a dog of mine needed a haircut, Pumpkin needs a haircut. She's not going to look at me now. She's ready for loving. Pumpkin, again, came from, the San Angelo, Texas animal shelter. She was probably 18 months old when we rescued her there. She is approximately 11 years old now. And when we found her at the shelter, she weighed maybe 3 pounds. Now she runs about 7. Her hair had grown out. You know, she was 18 months old, but she had never been groomed. And so she was one great big mass of matted gray hair. She really is gray and almost black underneath. All this orange that you see on her is food coloring from dog food and the fact that she licks her feet incessantly. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Anyway, Pumpkin also looks like a purse dog. We think that she's a mix of Shih Tzu and Poodle. Must have been a really small poodle. I don't think technically there is such a thing as teacup, but it must have been a tiny poodle and a really small Shih Tzu. Because the average Shih Tzu is going to be, 11 pounds. And she's only about 7. Oh, she needs a haircut. She looks like a rat when you trim all the hair off. But when she was at the shelter, all you could see was her tiny nose. Her little bitty eyes were just about covered up. She's a snaggletooth baby. I'll get some better pictures and video of Pumpkin, but I just wanted to introduce you to our fur fam. Pumpkin is my baby doll. Yeah, when she came to live with us, like I say, she was 18 months old. She was covered in matted hair. She had never, had attention, and you could tell that she was afraid of people. We had a sweet, sweet groomer. Took her hours to get her groomed and bathed. You know, she would take it as far as she could, and Pumpkin would just get so worked up and nervous. So she would put her back in a soft bed in a quiet room for a while and let her rest before she pulled her out again. And Joni did a bang-up job taking care of our little Pumpkin on her first grooming she ever had. Since then, I've had her groomed professionally a couple times, but pretty much I do it myself, and that's why she's such a shaggy body right now. There's that snaggletooth. Anyway, that is our fur fam. We absolutely love them. We do. Less than a year ago, our fur family was 6 dogs instead of 4 dogs. In the last 6 months, we have lost 2 fur babies. And it's awful every time you lose a fur baby. You know, it's not something you want to talk about, but if you love your fur babies the way we love our fur babies, it's a terrible thing, but it's the reality of being a pet owner, of being a dog lover. We lost Miha last fall. She was what they call a Miki. It's a hybrid or a mutt. She was Maltese, Japanese Chin, and Papillon. And I might try and slide a picture of her into this video as well, because she's still in our hearts. And then this winter we lost Gabby. And Gabby was the larger version of Pumpkin. She was a gray Shih Tzu Poodle mix. And she was the wild child of the group. She was the largest of our fur babies, in weight, anyhow. So, that is the introduction to the fur fam. Maybe, before I post this video, I'll get Bubba to get in front of the camera. We'll see. And this is the head of our family. He is the Bubba of my dreams. I told him I was going to interview him and talk about him like I did the pups. So, okay, I met Bubba in Southern California in 1999. He was 49 years old then. This is 2019. I don't need to tell you how mature he has become. How beautiful the white beard is. Bubba was a military child. Went into the military himself when he graduated high school. Survived 3 tours in Vietnam. The Lord brought him home because he was meant for me. Would you like to say hello to the Wendy's Way world, my sweet?
Hi.
Bubba is my knight in shining armor. He is my hero. He is my protector and supporter. He is my caregiver when I need it. And he is the love of my life. We challenge each other to acey-deucey backgammon on a daily basis, almost.
I win.
And for the first 6 months, he won every game. But we've been playing it for almost 5 years now, and it's gotten to the point where, hey, you know, every other day or so I can take 2 out of 3. Oh, there goes the alarm. Sounds like the other human is here. All right, everyone. I'm glad you had a chance to meet Bubba. We'll ask the other human that lives in the house if he wants to be interviewed too. Recording.
The things that I love and hold dear to my heart are just bubbles. They're not mine at all. Jesus, use them to brighten my life. So remind me, dear Lord. Roll back the curtains of memory now and then. Show me where you brought me from and where I could have been. Just remember that I'm human and humans forget. So remind me, dear Lord. Nothing good have I done to deserve God's own Son. I'm not worthy of the scars in His hands. Yet He chose a road to Calvary to die my stead. Why He loved me, I just can't understand. Roll back the curtain of memory now and then. Show me where you brought me from and where I could have been. Just remember that I'm human. Humans forget. So remind me, dear Lord.
Another member of our family who was not available for interview today because he had to run off and get busy is a young man who we refer to as our pseudo son. We are his American family, his American parents. He hails from the country of Zimbabwe on the continent of Africa. Let me turn this around and I'll tell you more about him.
I have lost my appetite, and the flood is welling up behind my eyes. So I eat the tears I cry. If that were not enough, then not just the words to cut and tear and prod when they ask me where's your God. Why are you downcast on my soul? Why so disturbed within me? I can remember when you showed Let my sighs give way to songs that sing about your faithfulness. Let my pain reveal your glory as my only real rest. Let my losses show me all I truly have is you. 'Cause all I truly have is you. So when I'm drowning out at sea, and your breakers and your waves crash down on me, I'll recall your safety skin. You're the one who made the waves, and your son went out to suffer in my place, and to tell me that I'm saved. Why are you downcast, oh my soul? Why so disturbed within me? Can't remember when you showed your grace to me. As a deer pants for water, so my soul is thirsts for you. And when I survey your splendor, you so faithfully renew, like a bed of rest for my fainting flesh. I am satisfied in you. Why am I down? Why so disturbed? I am satisfied in you. I am satisfied in you. I am satisfied in you.
The young man who is the third human resident in this house, his name is Mlungisi, and he grew up in Zimbabwe, in the southeastern portion of the African continent. He is an amazing young man. He's 26 years old. He came to the States 5 years ago to attend college. He graduated from Wartburg College, and, well, I'm just going to say, we love him as if he were our own. He lived with us one summer in between years at school, and he's been living with us for the year since he graduated Wartburg. We met him at church, and he is a young man after God's own heart. His faith, his spiritual strength, his theological knowledge are well beyond his years, and he is simply precious, and we love him. Quite possible he's going to be going home to Zimbabwe this fall, and he'll take a piece of our hearts with him. That's what happens, but we'll always be in contact, and we know that we'll spend eternity with him. As believers in Christ, we will have an eternity to catch up for when we're not together. Anyway, that is in total right now my immediate household family. Bubba and I and Mlu, and the 4 remaining pups in our pack. And we live a beautiful life. Bubba is a disabled Vietnam veteran. He's, you know, he's physical able for some things and not for others, you know, and not all disabilities are visible. I am a stay-at-home homemaker and caregiver, and I do my best to help us out financially. I sell rated cutlery, which is made locally, and I also have, you know, affiliate links here on my YouTube channel. I also sell ice yarns through a website currently, which is an affiliate link, but I'm hoping and toying with the idea of actually carrying some inventory. We'll see how that goes. That's another major investment that we just don't have the finances for currently. We are right now in the middle of working diligently to becoming debt-free. We were making great strides toward that goal in 2016, and then there was a catastrophic flood in our little hometown, and our home flooded. The basement and the main level flooded, and so there was a totally unplanned, terrifically expensive remodel that we were not emotionally or financially prepared for. We thank God every day that our family is here. You know, that's what we came back for from Texas. Our family is here, so we were able to live with my parents while we worked on the house. And my blood family, as well as my church family, helped us with the house, with furnishings and remodeling and labor costs and, you know, everything they could possibly do. They helped us. But, you know, it's a major setback when you strap yourself to become debt-free and then all of a sudden you accrue this volume of debt unexpectedly. So that's where we're at. I try to save money by gardening, raising as much of our food as I possibly can. I, you know, bake bread every week. I can and freeze meat and vegetables, you know, so that when we can buy them affordably in volume or grow them in volume, then I can preserve them and get more meals out of the food that we bring into the house. There are just a bunch of things about our life that I will try to share with you ongoing. I thank you for spending a little time with me. I apologize for the video quality on this one, but I just felt so compelled to get it out there. And I'm just the kind of person that when I feel compelled to do something, I'm not going to sit and wait and plan it out completely. Sometimes I just jump in and do it. So you get me in tie-dye, and you get my dogs needing a grooming, and you get my husband ready to run out the door, and you get a photograph of Mlu because he needed to go get busy. So we thank you all for spending a little time here at Wendy's Way. We know that your time is precious, and every bit of it that you spend with us is very flattering and very humbling. May the good Lord, who blesses me each and every day of my life, bless you as well, today and always. Amen.